I think that's your specialty.
Thank you. Because if I said that one, it would sound
Are
like
you ready to pop?
When I was 16 years old, I fell in love. Definitely love. Crushes don't last 13 years.
It took me even a couple movies to kind of learn, you know, you don't have to actually do it this way. I was really impressed. You knew immediately, no, I'm not going to do it like that. I want to do it this way.
You mean doing Bottle Rocket?
Doing Bottle Rocket.
That's the funny thing. I feel like I was never more confident in my life than when we made that film.
Yeah.
And never less confident than when we screened it. The first time we screened it was part 2 of my life. Because up to that point, my attitude was, just wait till they see this. And as the reels unspooled, I was sitting in the back row with all the studio executives, everybody, and I began to see people leaving. They were leaving in groups. People don't go to the bathroom in groups. They're not coming back. You know, they take their coats, and it became, you know, really excruciating.
That's the first time I heard of you, Owen, Wes, Anderson. There was this movie everyone was talking about, Bottle Rocket.
First film I made is Bottle Rocket, and that began when Owen Wilson and I started writing this script while we were going to the University of Texas. And we eventually made a short film, which Owen is in, and Owen's brother Luke. But we always had the script for our feature film, and it was meant to, we thought we were making a feature film.
That does not make any difference. I bought the earrings for my mother on her birthday. I picked them out myself.
Well, I can't be sorting through all that shit in the middle of a burglary. There's just not time for it.
When we were making our short film, there was a feeling suddenly of, wow, do we know how to do this? Because the first take we did was very bad. But, you know, we did it and I was like, no, this is good, we'll get there. Eventually, we just ran out of funds, and then we found our way to Polly Platt and James L. Brooks, and Jim Brooks was the one who gave us the chance to make it as a feature film.
To be working at a motel in the middle of nowhere. Lost and confused, totally lost. Incredibly unhappy person. Accidentally wanders in off the highway. And they meet, and they fall in love, and it's perfect.
We worked with Jim on the script to improve it. We had a very, very, very long comedy, and we made it into a more manageable length and improved it a lot. We basically took a screenwriting class from James L. Brooks. But by the time we made the feature film, I think even then I felt more prepared. Obviously, still a lot to learn.
But those days are over now. It's just a matter of time before I pick up the phone and I say, Mr. H, we are coming home. So don't worry about your future, man, because I am thinking.
I think our idea was we were trying to make a movie about right then in our lives. I think everything about it comes from a bit of our experience in these two cities of Houston and Dallas, where Owen grew up and I grew up, and it was the sort of disorder of our lives and the uncertainty of everything.
What the hell are you wearing? Yeah. It's a jumpsuit. Clay, look at this guy. He looks like a rodeo clown. He looks like a little banana. Where are you from anyway, man?
I'm from around here.
This guy used to mow our lawn.
No shit.
Yeah, he was great. Clipping the hedges, sweeping up, mowing the lawn. What was the name of your little lawn mowing company?
The Lawn Wranglers?
Future Man is a bit of a villain, as portrayed by Andrew Wilson. I think there are a lot of characters in these movies that are a certain kind of older man. I feel I've been, maybe not exactly like father figures, but something like that. Always flawed, some sort of intense ambition, and strong personalities.
That's a little masterpiece, Bottle Rocket.
Yeah.
And it starts out, these guys are, you know, they break Owen out of this, you know, so-so nut house, but he didn't have to be broken out. He could have just, walked out.
Right.
And Owen's got a 5-year plan on paper. He says, we're going to do the first year, we're going to rob mom and pops. The second year, we're going to go to this. We're going to do 5 years, we're going to make all our money. Then we're going to start a business, something. He has some cockamamie plan. They head out on the road. They go to a motel the first night, and Luke Wilson falls in love with the maid at the motel, and they don't leave. They just stick there. I actually met Owen when he did Bottle Rocket.
Sure.
And here's a good story. Bottle Rocket inspired something about Mary in a huge way, and this is how. There's something about Mary was Decter and Strauss, Ed Decter, John Strauss. They'd written this script. It was 10 years old, and it was a great idea.
It'd been around forever. I'd heard that.
Yeah, it had been around, but it was a great concept, and it had gone into development hell and took all the good shit out of it, the studio. But it still was this great idea. My brother and I read it. We said, let's do this next. So we started rewriting it, and we were on page 45 or 50. And all of a sudden we hit a wall because we realized it's so obvious that Mary's going to end up with Ted. You know what's going to happen. We have an hour to go. This is horrible.
Conflict, quick.
No, it was like completely disturbing that we're on page 45 and you know what's going to happen. And I couldn't get around it for about 2 weeks. We just sat there looking at each other like, what the hell are we going to do? And then I watched Bottle Rocket on video. And I was watching, I was thinking, this isn't what they were planning when they were writing this movie. They didn't have that mapped out. What they did was, when they got there at that motel and saw something happening here, they let the movie go where it wanted to go. They let it go in the direction it went. They didn't continue to do the 5-year plan thing. It didn't matter. They let the flow of the story go where it wanted to go. And I called my brother and said, you gotta watch this movie. This is fucking awesome. We're doing it all wrong. We're doing it all wrong. She doesn't have to end up with him. She does not have to end up with him. Mary does not have to end up with Ted. She could end up with any of the guys. Why are we writing it that Ted has to do it? Just because that's how it's been for 100 years?
Right.
That the lead guy? No. Let it go where it wants to go. And from that point forward, we wrote the movie. We were fair to all the characters, to Chris Elliott and to Matt Dillon and to the other guy and to everybody. We didn't know Brett Favre. We didn't know who was going to end up with Mary as we're writing.
Right.
And we got 5 pages from the end and we looked at each other and we were like, they actually think now that she's going to end up with Brett Favre. Let's give her to Ted. And that's what we did.
Right.
And I called those guys and told them, I didn't know them, I said, your movie inspired me. So we met with them, and with Wes Anderson and Owen, and just said, you guys are unbelievably talented, and I have to thank you for what you brought to you're so smart. It helped us write the script, and we became friends.
Right.
That's great.
That is pretty damn great.
Hi, this is Harlan Williams. There's something about love, but most of all, there's something about Mary.
Oh yeah, I think they're some of the nicest guys I've ever worked with.
Really?
Yep. You'd go on their set, and they'd make the guy, the handyman who was working on the trailers, treat them the same as they'd treat the A-list stars.
Wow.
Like just total respect for just people, humans in general. And it was just really. It was such a nice kind of tone they set, and just told me everything I needed to know about them. So
I love
it. Yeah.
When you start a movie, I've never started a movie that I didn't think was the script was 100% perfect. If I felt it needed more work, I wouldn't be starting the movie, honestly. But I've heard of people saying, yeah, we're going to work on it as we go along. I was like, really? Oh, fuck, I'd hate that. To think of that, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
But what you find out is it's not perfect. It's like 70% perfect, maybe. And you find that out as you're shooting it. You're seeing, oh, this isn't working, and that's not working. And as a director, you try to correct it on the spot as you're going along. But when you have a great actor, Jim Carrey, Bill Murray, guys like that, they are correcting it all the way along, and they're making it better. And we started this on Dumb and Dumber, because we didn't, we don't pretend to know everything. We made an announcement at the beginning of the movie, and we always do this. If anybody has a thought how to make this better during the making of this movie, and I don't care who you are, what department you're in, but if you see an opportunity, or if you see something that's been done that I haven't seen every movie in the world. If there's no, they did that in, this movie. Don't do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Please come forward.
You do that on every film.
Every movie. And what happens is, it's a good thing, it's a bad thing, because you have people coming forward, like sometimes you get that one guy who's just like all day long coming up to you, and he's like, but every movie you do get, probably 3 times, somebody comes up and they say, hey, what if the guy did this? And you're like, fucking awesome. And then I get up as we're doing it, or after we're doing it, I say, by the way, that came from Kenny in props.
Yeah.
Kenny's idea, guys, and I share it with everybody. I want everybody to know, you know, you're part of the thing. You know, this is team effort here. I give them credit where, you know, but no, you gotta be open to that. You gotta look for that stuff.
Do you do table reads?
Absolutely.
Hear it out loud?
Always do a table read. No, the table read, you know, with the actors, yeah, we do that. But that I don't get much out of it.
No, I mean during the process before you
what we do,
get anywhere near
what we do
shooting.
is we table it with a bunch of writers. Right before we're doing it, probably a month before, we bring in a bunch of guys that we know, usually Family Guy writers. I just happen to know a lot of those guys. Because Seth MacFarlane, we went to the same high school, by the way. You know, that boarding school I got sent away to, he went to that. He lived in that town. And we met years ago, became friends, and through him I met all the guys over there. Danny Smith, a Rhode Island guy, a good friend of mine. And so those guys come in, I get like 4 or 5 of them, Ricky Blitt, a few guys, and we table it for about 4 nights. And they come from Family Guy. We pay them, you know, good chunk of dough. And they come there and we go through the entire script. And on Thursday night, the last night, we do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We have full bar. A bartender, we're pounding and we're just starting to go at it. Everybody's just getting loose, and we almost always get between, in those 4 days, between 10 and 15 jokes that you did not have in the movie before. And it's such a good investment. I always tell the studio, because they have to pay the guys, you know, coming in 4 nights in a row after work. And, but it is the best spent money you could, you know, and especially with guys like that, you know, if you get Simpson guys or Family Guy guys or you know, real good comedy writers.
Yeah. That's pretty spectacular.
It's fun.
They've been great to me. I love the Farrelly Brothers,
I mean, they made some of the best comedies ever. It's pretty
easily. Well, I don't want to piss them off, but I say, and I thank my lucky stars, I think I was in their 2 best, Dumb and Dumber and Something About Mary. In my opinion, I like them the most. Not because I'm in them, but I just feel like they're both classics. You know?
I would agree with that, because Kingpin's amazing, and so is Me, Myself, and Irene. But these two are really just lights out.
And they're so quotable. I mean,
I know.
The crazy thing about Something About Mary is, like, it's got so many fucking funny people.
Yeah.
Chris Elliott.
Lee Evans, like
amazing,
like everyone in that movie kills it. You know,
Matt Dillon, how funny
Unreal.
is Matt Dillon?
Matt, to me, is the funniest guy in the whole movie.
Same.
Like the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, he's sort of the straight guy, but the more I watch it, I just go, he's unbelievable. Like, he's so funny.
And Stiller's sort of the straight guy. I mean,
Stiller's great. You couldn't do it without him, but
amazing.
When they were editing the movie, the Farrellys had me come in, and I got to sit in the editing room with them. And they showed me a bunch of scenes that Matt Dillon did that didn't make the cut. And I was like, guys, how can you not put those scenes in? Like, they were hilarious.
Was it the one where he's squeezing her tits?
It was more about when he meets her at the architectural
thing.
Yeah, and just hilarious footage that never made it.
Yeah, he goes, you ever been to Galapagos? Twice last year? Whatever country.
Santiago, Chile.
That was it. That was it.
No one's been to Santiago, Chile twice in a year.
Yeah.
I love when he's directing talking about the special needs guys, and he's like, oh, Mongoloid. You know, Mongo had a forehead like a drive-in movie theater.
It's a shocking scene to see, because they would never allow this now. But
that's why I think they're their 2 best, because they just flow together as a comedic piece. That everything works, and one scene services the next, and the stories are the most cohesive. Whereas Me, Myself, and Irene had some amazing standout moments. I felt like the story kind of fell off, but these work. They keep you engaged regardless of the zaniness or the comedy. You're invested in them, in the story. You know.
Yeah, I would say, is it Landis? Like
Landis?
Coming to America. Those movies in the 80s felt like real movies that were funny.
Yeah, American Werewolf in London.
Yeah. What's the other one? Trading Places.
Yeah.
That felt like a real movie, but it just happened to have a hilarious guy. And
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Now comedies kind of just seem ridiculous. all out of the gate.
You're right. It's like they lost that human quality.
Yeah.
Like you really buy that Ben Stiller, like, fuck, I love this girl.
Yeah.
And then immediately you love him because he protects the brother.
Yeah.
It's so well done.
Has anybody interviewed
No.
you? Can we ask you something about, what was it like doing something about Mary? What was it like working with Ben Stiller? Did you enjoy that?
7 chipmunks twirling on a branch, eating lots of sunflowers on my uncle's ranch. You know that old children's tale from the sea? It's like you're dreaming about gorgonzola cheese when it's clearly brie time, baby.
Right, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad I asked you that question.
Cut!
What about those Farrelly Brothers? They directed this
Aren't they
sucker.
something?
They're nuts.
They are really out there. They are kooks.
I love the Farrelly Brothers.
Can you two brothers, Farrelly, give me a synopsis of your new film, There's Something About Mary?
I got it. It's about a guy who becomes obsessed with his high school sweetheart and then picks up a hitchhiker. That is really funny. Yeah, picks up this scene-stealing hitchhiker.
And who plays the hitchhiker, fellas?
Oh, this is like an Oscar-winning performance.
No! The Farrelly Brothers really like to work a lot with their penises.
I've never seen a penis so agile.
Did you see Peter's penis?
It's amazing. It just bends and stretches and twists and all different kinds of...
I think just about everybody on the set did.
I saw the top.
That's all there is.
It was just nice to hold on to something.
Hey, did the Farrelly Brothers ever fart during one of your takes?
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. I've seen what these guys can put away at a given lunch.
We had a scene where we're driving along.
Right. And then there's like the director peeking in, looking in, seeing, watching the scene.
He's right outside the window of the car.
Right.
And we can hear him if he were to say something, but he's very cautious not to say anything because we're doing our lines that we're trying to memorize.
Most directors are cautious not to say anything or do anything while you're acting.
And Peter Farrelly graced us with 2 loud explosions from between his legs as we were trying to do our line. And we held it, didn't we? We didn't break.
No, he did.
One of you broke wind outside the window of the car.
Right.
Do you remember which one of you it was?
Me. That was. Don't say it was you. That was Pete. No, I wish I could. It was me. He did it. Pull that crap. He's always taking the credit for it.
You don't hear about that happening on a David Lean film, you know?
What's one of my favorite things to do, to be spontaneous, and I like thinking on my feet. They work that way. It was one of the things I liked most about the whole process of making the film. Was you know, Peter or Bobby, they would just come up with some of the most outrageous things. I think one of the scenes that really made me want to do the film was the scene where I show up sort of undercover as an architect, and I start sort of conniving Mary and telling her about my work and my life and what kind of guy I am. And I mean, I think half of the lines there would come up, but Peter and Bobby sort of just threw at me on the spot.
When she says architecture exhibit, but the more I go...
The more I go...
Yeah, but the architecture exhibit, that's like right away. You stop. And then, like, don't even say it right away. Just stop. Let's just try it right here. Okay, hold on. Another thing. Architecture exhibit. Yeah. So, well, geez, I'm kind of hungry. Yeah. She said, well, no, there's food there. Plus, my friend, I want you to meet him, because there's food. We got the whole thing.
Yeah,
I wanted to surprise you.
Okay, but I have a surprise for you first.
But I have a surprise for you first. Yeah? What, a surprise? You're like, you're heavy. Like, surprise?
Architecture exhibit.
Architecture exhibit. Yeah, but stop, like, and... Yeah, stop. Yeah, stop. And take a beat. Yeah. Is that a surprise?
Yeah, architecture exhibit.
Architecture exhibit.
Yeah, and do you want to say I'm starved or?
I don't know. I'm pretty hungry.
I don't know. I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be hors d'oeuvres there. You can just snack. And my friend Tucker, we're gonna meet him.
Now you grab him.
Right. My friend Tucker's gonna be there. We'll have tons to talk about. He's an architect too.
And then you just go by the camera. Like I'm looking for something to get me. Yeah, exactly. Like looking like some way out. I'll an empty yellow. Yeah. Okay, let's do it again. 79, take 3. Mark.
surprise?
And it brings up
Museum? I thought we were going to dinner.
Oh, we will. I just wanted to surprise you first.
Surprise?
Yeah, it's the architecture exhibit.
Architecture?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta eat something. I gotta shake.
Oh, come on. We'll be eating in 20 minutes. My friend Tucker's up there. He's an architect, too. Come on. Come on.
Cut.
First, I have it. Yeah, because I said I was trying to remember what line.
Yeah, but you say I have a surprise for you, or
Right, yeah. But first, I have a surprise.
First I have a
Not
surprise.
for him,
But first I have a surprise. You're
Surprise?
happy, like surprise? You're excited about that. Yeah, there's the architecture exhibit. Now that all works fine. Now you sort of anticipated when he stopped, like he was stopping and you kind of stopped. Like he should stop and you should be like, yeah, come on. You know, you're not gonna walk out of frame.
Okay.
You know, you can't walk 10 feet, but you know when he stops, you'd be like, yeah.
Okay.
Come on. Oh no, I'm architecture. You know, I don't know.
Oh, Mary, I'm starved.
But there'll be our...
Then you go back.
No, there'll be our drinks there. My friend Tucker's going to feed us.
Okay. And really pull him up those, like, get going. Like, you seem to be like, you know, like, remember you said, like, it's right up there, because you seem like that's trying to fill space there. If you're dragging him faster, you won't have that problem. You should be pulling him along. Come on.
Okay.
Right up there.
Okay.
So those three things. Just don't anticipate to stop, you know, just I have a surprise, and then drag him at the end.
That upbeat about the whole thing, you know, is good. It's not too big, right?
Who?
You know, just
No.
museum. I thought we were going to dinner.
No, definitely it was not. It was not too big.
The bigger it is, the bigger the crash.
Excited. You're excited. You're out with her. You know, you're getting your thing. Museum. I thought we were going to dinner. You know, whatever you want to do. You could look around like, yeah, no, I got a surprise. Surprise.
Okay. Come on, Peter.
Okay. Peter,
Come
I'll let you do it.
on, Peter, you do it. Put on your shirt.
You're about to see the gay rest stop scene. Hang on to your britches, because it's really... Tell the children to go in the other room, unless you want them to stay. And then as a family, you can experience it together.
See, Mark?
And set guys ready.
Action! Oh, sorry. Whoa! Jeez. Whoa! This is a raid! No, I was peeing. I wasn't. That's all I was doing, peeing. That's it. No, I was peeing too. I was peeing too.
Cut. Jackie, let's put you right behind Gary. Need you tight the camera. Did anybody yell, "Is this a rage"?
No.
Yeah, Jackie did.
I didn't yet. Well,
you sure?
Comes on very late.
Did you yell, "This is a rage"?
Yeah.
When?
As soon as like the lights. You want me to shoot this on the other side?
You should yell as soon as the first light comes on. As soon as the first light comes on, scream, "This is a raid!" Loud.
You know, it feels to me like it's a long time before the light comes on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, we'll tighten that up. No, you got to get the light in earlier. You know, he falls, he should come up, that light should come on. As soon as he comes up. As soon as he's at crotch level. Yeah. Now also, you seem to be waiting for his thing. You know, when Ben comes up and says, "What? Oh, no." As soon as he said, "No, I was just taking a leak," you do, I thought I was taking a leak too. You know, taking a leak. You know, Girk.
Is there a helicopter there too?
You're the third taking a leak. You know. You know, after he says, "Yeah, I was
here."
Yeah, I was taking a leak. Yeah.
The light's gonna. Yeah. Okay. So I could look up.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a beat between. Okay, now you know it was a little fast. Like you kind of like pieced everything together quickly. What was going on? I think it's like, you know, you're down there. You're like, you hit the ground. What the hell? You know, you come out. Geez, I'm sorry. You know, thing to thing. What? You know, this is a raid. A raid? What? You know, you got to do. No. You know that. You know, you don't know.
I didn't hear raid.
Okay, Jackie.
Like I'm not really reacting.
You got to scream it. And you know, when those lights flip on, right when the lights go on, this is the raid! You know, loud, and he should be like, huh?
Right.
Oh. No. You know that. You know.
Yeah. No. I was peeing. But there's nothing.
Everything was
and
very spaced out.
Yeah, but you jump all over. I was peeing too. You know,
wait for him to finish then.
Well, no, wait for him to finish peeing. You know, saying peeing.
Right.
You know, yeah, I was peeing.
I'll just keep
That's
going
right. Yeah, if he keeps talking, don't worry. Just
okay.
no.
I hear
The thing.
peeing, I'm saying my
Yeah.
name.
So at the beginning, to then jump into us, it's like, is there, you know, it's like you said, the realization is too quick. Did he say something like, get your own bitch or something? You know, just something to like, hey, get off of us.
Hey, get off of us.
Hey.
Jesus, get off of us.
Three's the sandwich.
Hey, wait your turn.
Hey, wait your turn. Hey, wait your turn, sure.
Wait your turn.
Yeah.
Wait your turn. We're gonna go ahead and work the helicopter line. Wait your turn.
Okay.
So
He comes in and disrupts us.
Hey, wait your turn.
Okay. So I'll say that when I'm.
I mean, do you
on my way
imagine
up.
a helicopter line
I
coming
don't
on
know
at
it's
this
that
point?
fast. I think we could have poof poof, and then
right.
as he's getting up, you know, the helicopter, that would be too quick.
Hey, Jay, no helicopter
We don't
line
need the
for
helicopter quite yet. That's a little fast. Because we have to, you know, play it. We have to hear it coming.
Yeah. Do you want me to get up at the end though? At the end?
Yeah, like get up. Like
I get up and start.
Very good,
But he's
sir.
gonna come take me away.
now, Jackie, are you coming into the scene?
Because if he gets, we're just doing coverage from a master we haven't shot yet. I have a feeling Jackie wouldn't be able to get to them right away. The cop cars are still driving in. Or he's in a squad car, or is he just hiding?
He's on foot.
Oh, okay. Well, then he should come in.
Okay, so is he going to be coming in this side?
Yes.
Okay, you just come in this side. Come on! Yeah, I'm sure you were doing whatever you want.
After they say their lines. Okay.
So don't
So, Jerry,
speak until you
I'll see what
come
happens.
in here. Yeah. I'm sure you were
Walk
doing
with them.
whatever you
Just tug back.
You boys will just bleed the lizard.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, there's a little rambling down.
So just, you know, just like, we need that moment where you're confused.
Okay.
Right. Really?
Yeah.
Why would I be able to
Okay.
do that? Oh my God, yeah. Right. You did.
Because I've got
Positions,
about
please.
3 of these that I custom made over the years. Before Chapter started making.
I did this one already.
And.
No, I can still got the ball.
Okay, so everybody's got the changes here.
Yep. Just hit that one.
Oh, baby. All right, you ready, Mark?
Okay, yeah, and let's come away a little bit slower.
Slower. Yeah. Because camera moves back.
That's all right.
And roll sound.
Speed.
83 Charlie 2.
Take it higher, please. Mark it.
C mark.
B mark.
And ready.
Action.
Most filmmakers will choose a script and then choose a location based on the script. And with the Farrellys, they'll choose a location, Hawaii, Florida, usually somewhere warm with golf courses and good bars. And then they will figure out a movie that can fit in the location. I don't know if that's how it happened on Something About Mary, but I know that we were in Florida and Rhode Island, which is where all their people are. Yeah, no, they both seem to. In terms of actual directing, though, I think Peter seems to be the mouthpiece more. He's the guy who, kind of gives you the actual direction, and Bobby kind of hangs back, and then they'll confer. And the prop guy seems to have kind of an equal amount of say in the direction.
It's a stalking movie. It's about stalking, and we've stalked. Yeah, you know, let's face it, every guy's stalked. You know, the PCers made it illegal now. Ooh. So you can't stalk anymore. It's part of growing up.
The result was a movie that shattered every rule of political correctness.
I work with retards.
But instead of storming out in protest,
whoa!
Audiences were howling in the aisles.
For some reason, it's acceptable when the Farrellys do this kind of stuff.
I was in a weird place then.
And even though it's, I guess there are some things that can be considered raunchy and all that, just making them plain funny.
I love this. A prop guy comes to you, he's prepared a bunch of different sizes and textures of the drip from Stiller's ear.
There was a guy.
Opened up a briefcase.
Yeah.
Splooge number one.
Yeah. The day we're shooting the thing on Ben Stiller's ear, you know, you have guys that, you know, a movie is 150 people doing all different things. Everybody has to do their job, and it all comes together. And it's an amazing thing, actually. And whenever I have people on the set, and I always do, I always have friends from home, and you know, I love bringing people who have never been on a movie set on the set, because they're like, oh my God, this is awesome, and that energy spills into, makes me happy. You know? I love the feel, but
because you can't get it back.
No,
you had that first time too.
Yeah.
And so one day we're about to shoot the thing. I said, so what's up? What do we have for this? And the prop guy says, yeah, this guy. And this other guy comes in. It's like Men in Black. He's got like a suit on. Comes walking over. He's got a briefcase. He opens it up, and in that briefcase is probably 40 different loads.
Right together. We try to write. We get together. We try to write. Let's say we try to write 5 pages a day. The script is 120 pages. So that's just like a good rule of thumb. If we can do that, we've had a pretty good day.
Do you have debates about who's got the funniest line or funniest scene for a script, and how do you resolve those debates between the both of you?
It's not so much who has the funniest line, because I don't ever remember thinking like, oh, this is funnier than that. Mm-hmm. But we constantly have debates. We butt heads. We butt heads 2 times in the process of making a movie, writing and editing. Making a movie, when we're filming a movie, never disagree. I mean, very rarely. Maybe once a movie will, I don't know about that. We're in sync. But the writing process is about like, you have kind of an idea and you're going in that direction, and the other person is trying to pull it in another direction, and you're finding the place where it's the best, and it's we've given this example before, but when it works at its best, it's like when we did develop In Something About Mary the hair gel thing. Mm-hmm. And we usually don't remember who wrote what, because it isn't one person. Okay. Somebody had a spark of an idea, and then someone did this and did that, blah, 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 blah. So someone says, who wrote that joke? I'm like, geez, I don't remember.
So it's truly co-authored.
Totally, yeah. But I do remember specifically that, and maybe it's because it is one of the funniest things we ever wrote, the hair gel. And I had thought about the idea of, what if a guy masturbated and lost the product? What if he's at it and then you're like, hey, what the heck? Where'd that go? And we were driving along one day, and I said, hey, Bob, maybe there's a way. We were working on something about Mary at the time, but we weren't. I said, is there a way that we could ever put this in a script, or is this too much? This might be way too much. Guy loses the stuff, and he said, that's great. He said, but the question is, where is it? I said, oh, geez, I don't know. He said, but think about it. That's what's funny. Where is it? Like, what if it ends up like on, his earlobe, and he doesn't know it? And I was, oh, that's funny. That's really funny. And then we were driving along. I remember we drove for about 5 minutes, and we were just kind of giggling, talking about other stuff. And then I said, wait a second. If it's on his earlobe, he could be out. He could leave. He could go out in public. And he says, well, what if he has like a date or something? We're like, oh my God, what if he's got a date? And then we're thinking, wait a second. What if we use this for Mary? And she's coming over, and he's got the date, and it's on the earlobe, and then we're laughing. We drive another 5-10 minutes, and then we're thinking, well, wait a second. He says, what would she think it is? I'm like, I don't know. Well, what if she thought it was? What if she asked him, and what would he say? And we're like, what would you say? I don't know, hair gel. And we're thinking, oh, that's funny. So he could cover himself with the hair gel. And then like 20 minutes later, if she thinks it's hair gel, she might put it in her hair. And then you're in that part, and again, another half hour later, it's like, well, wait a second. If she put it in her hair, it could harden, and that's the best kind. It really is like, I had a seed of an idea, no pun intended. And Bobby pushes me in a direction, then I push back, and then boom, 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 and you've come up with something.
Oh, that's a great definition of the collaboration.
Yeah.
So it was just each 5 minutes of the drive, it got to a more inappropriate location.
As I remember, I was only driving the car. He said all those things himself, but it is collaborative.
Yeah. And then my brother said, no, we're using that. We're keeping it, because where'd it go? And I said, I don't know, it doesn't matter. He goes, no, it matters. It matters where it went. And they're all hanging on a hook, like earrings. And he's got it, he opens it up and it's sideways, and they're all hanging there, and some are long and transparent, and some are thick and short, and some are lumpy, and some are this, some are that. And we just pulled him in, Ben, and we held him up. It's too little. You want to know? It's too long. That looks like earrings. This like, and finally we got the right one.
By the way, this wasn't from the sense memory. Neither of you had actually seen semen hang from an earlobe.
No.
Okay.
I never had.
So, but you're holding it up like, this doesn't look right.
Yeah, you're trying to look at the one that's the most identifiable.
Right.
But not
believable.
Yeah.
By the way, that's the thing. When you're doing something that silly, whether it is Dumb or Dumber or Something About Mary, whether it's Matt Dillon's teeth, whatever it is, don't you feel there has to be a foundation of reality?
We do.
Yeah.
We believe that. Like, we don't go as broad as some people. We're broad. But we don't, I always believe that there has to be a little reality. That's our way of doing it. Not everybody does that, and it works for other people going broad, but this is the way we do it.
How do you go about developing the kind of the
different,
project?
Different ways. I must say this, we're not really great idea men. We haven't, we usually, someone usually gives us an idea and we go write it. Something About Mary was a script written by Ed Decter and John Strauss.
In 1988, struggling writers Ed Decter and John J. Strauss came up with the idea of Mary for their very first script.
We heard a story about someone who had hired a private detective to find their high school girlfriend who they had lost touch with. And so we said, what if that private detective was like us, a little bit sick, and was watching this girl and fell in love with her from afar, and then reported back that he didn't find her or that she was, undesirable in some way.
The screenplay was quickly optioned.
Who were friends of ours, and we loved what they had done. They had a great script, but we went in and we rewrote that. It's really, we're sparked by good ideas, and when we agree that they're a good idea, because a lot of times I'll think something's a good idea, or he will, and I will, but when we both want something, and when we both say, hey, that's great, then we go off and we take a couple months and write it.
Enter Frank Bedore, a former actor and a friend of the writers, who was eager to become a film producer.
I said, do you have a script in the trunk of your car that I can, revive and produce? And they said, Something About Mary is sitting on a shelf at Interscope, and if you can, finagle it out of development, you can do with it what you'd like.
Bedore rescued Mary from turnaround, and next began looking for the perfect director, or in this case, directors.
And we decided to talk to the Farrelly Brothers, who they actually had introduced me to 6 years earlier, and we used to, drink beer and play pool together.
When Frank Bedore pitched the duo his project, the Farrellys signed on and gleefully punched up the script with their trademark shock humor.
I pitched it to the executive at Fox. I pitched it to him on a chairlift at Sundance. We were going up the chairlift, we were skiing, and I said, listen, I got this project, and I gave him the one-liner, and I said there's a script, and the Farrelly Brothers are interested.
But Mary had one more mountain to climb. Fox Film Group president Tom Rothman.
It was so far out there. You have to understand, when this movie was done, there had not been a real strong R-rated sex comedy since, Animal House. That script, and my wife was looking at me like I was crazy. I was laughing and the tears were coming down the side of my eyes.
If ever there was typecasting, she's like the perfect woman. She, hangs out with the guys. She likes to throw it back a couple beers. Smart. She likes sports. Not prissy in any way. Yet you'd love to sleep with her. It's the perfect Mary.
But getting Cameron Diaz to agree with the Farrellys was a different matter.
She said, I don't want to do it. And then her manager said, Rick Yorn said, you got to read the script.
I'd never read anything quite like it. And it made me laugh, and you just never knew what was going to happen next.
And once she read the script, she said, okay, whoever has the balls to write this movie, I'd like to work with.
Well, the thing that you learn very quickly with Peter and Bobby is that you can never go too far. It's like, the bigger, the better.
I'm tired of talking about stalkers. Let's talk about you.
Farrellys themselves thought, this'll never make it.
At first, Diaz flatly refused to do the scene, fearing it might forever damage her promising career.
Mary, Cameron Diaz. I begged Cameron Diaz to do that thing. Like, she was like...
Once you found out Courtney Cox wasn't available.
Yeah. She said, I don't know, it's just that hair gel thing. I don't know, that could ruin my career.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dead serious. I said, because it could have.
Sure. Well,
it could. If that doesn't work, now it worked. We know what it is. But at the point she's reading it, she's thinking, if that doesn't work, I'm cumhead for the rest of my life. They're like, this cumhead. Remember the girl in the movie? Cumhead. You don't know. And she was afraid of that. So we actually had to shoot it around it. So if it didn't work like as we anticipated it would, then you could get out of that without having that scene. We did it 3 different ways.
Cameron looked at me and we looked at each other and said, what if this is terrible? What if it's not funny? And we thought, well, whatever, we're doing it now.
For the part of love-struck loser Ted Stroman, the Farrellys had another flash of inspiration. Comedian Ben Stiller. 20th Century Fox wasn't yet convinced.
He didn't have a big profile in Middle America, so they got sort of nervous. Then they wanted us to do a search to go out and sort of discover the new Ted. So we did this 3-week search and we found Owen Wilson. And we said, okay, Owen Wilson, he's great. And then the studio panicked and said, well, who's Owen Wilson?
Over the part of sleazy private eye, Pat Healy. Bill Murray, Vince Vaughn, and Cuba Gooding Jr. were considered. But finally, the role went to Cameron Diaz's own real-life boyfriend, Matt Dillon.
We fought for Matt, and I think we all had that instinct that he could do comedy. He just hadn't done it recently.
On December 2nd, 1997, 9 years after the idea was born, cameras rolled on There's Something About Mary.
Like on Something About Mary, honestly, I was playing golf one day. It had been out for 8 weeks, and I was walking down the fairway, and I just thought, it's a hit.
Audiences agreed. There was something about Mary. The film went on to gross over $220 million. Many reviewers were as enthusiastic as average viewers. And to the astonishment of many, Cameron Diaz won the prestigious New York Film Critics Award as the year's Best Actress.
You know, that's like what we get.